Is this even mine? What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Carpenter's Apprentice. Today we're here at a VIA event honoring Rosa Parks. I'm wearing this mask, not because I'm corona conscious, but because this morning I woke up, I had a big ass pimple. So I got this little dot on me. Gotta put on the mask to hide it. So let's see how long this all lasts. Also, they have delicious foods and drinks, but I can't eat them because of this stupid mask and the pimple. So let's go see what's what. All right. All right, sir, can you please introduce yourself for the people?
Yeah, Akeem Brown, A-K-E-E-M, last name Brown. I'm vice chair of the VIA Board Metropolitan Trustees, Board of Trustees.
Tell people what was happening here today.
Yeah, so today we're honoring the legacy of the great Rosa Parks. We're talking about equity. We're talking about the legacy of racism and how we dismantle that, specifically in how it's involved in public transportation. Black and brown people are generally forgotten, historically neglected, and today we're honoring that legacy and talking about what ways we can make sure that that doesn't continue to occur.
Now, brother, you look sharp.
Thanks,
You're dressed to the nines.
Thanks, brother.
That means you got to have a little bit of money. Do you really ride the bus?
No, I do. I rode the bus here to this event. So I ride the bus. I do have a car. I do own a vehicle. Uniquely enough, though, I always tell people I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So I moved to San Antonio 8 years ago. So I was born and raised riding the bus. So now we have to change the mindset and really get folks who wear suits and folks who don't wear suits to understand the bus is for everybody. The bus is for everybody. We're talking about frequency, making sure you get to work safe and on time and don't have to worry about stress of gas and traffic. And so, regardless of your economic value or the value that you have in the city, I think the bus is for everyone.
Somebody is killing it over there.
She is definitely killing it.
Okay. Yeah. Now, somebody like me or folks out there, I know there's a stigma about using the bus. You talk about how it's available for everybody. That's true.
That is
it's
the truth.
for everybody.
Yeah.
So sometimes I remember being on the bus and it would be like, number one, there wasn't Wi-Fi back then. Number two, the seats were hard as plastic.
That's right.
And then number three, God, you get a real variety of individuals. Right. Tell people what updates have been made to make it a better experience for the rider.
You're still going to have the variety of individuals. I mean, it's the city we live in. Let's love that. Let's love that. Let's love that. But the one thing I will tell you, or two things I will tell you, Wi-Fi on all the buses. So on my way here, my backpack is not with me, but I sent 3 emails, literally on the way from the Pearl to La Villita. I sent 3 emails. So you can get work done on the way to work, on the way to work. The other thing, too, is the seats are more comfortable. Frequency, though. So you're not sitting outside of a bus stop waiting for 15 plus minutes. A bus should be coming to you, especially in the downtown area, 7 to 10 minutes. West side is our next connection. West to east is what we're working on next. That's why I joined the board, man. I wanted to join the board because I feel like people who live in my community, I live and play on the east side of San Antonio, didn't really have that access to get them to work on time and felt comfortable. So I'm working on the east and west transition as we speak right now to make sure that frequency improves. So the bus is much better than it was 5-10 years ago.
Now, I remember one of the things I think we just voted on in one of the last election cycles was a bond referendum for VIA to get some more monies in y'all's pocket.
That's right.
What are y'all going to do with it?
Yep, so that starts in 2026. So look out, in 2026, that reallocation of your sales tax will start coming towards the VIA. We're going to improve frequency. Okay. And so most of what people are saying, whether you're an opponent or a proponent of light rail, the idea was light rail got you quickly, right? You go to Houston, you go to Dallas, you see that light rail just moving. But we want to do the same thing. We want to make sure that our buses become trackless trains. They keep moving as quick as possible. They'll have signals, so you'll be in the red light waiting in your car. But guess what? The folks like me on the bus, we'll be in a green light just zooming right by you. And so this idea of making sure that the frequency is improvement. So that is what we're going to do with that, allocation that we just received from the community.
Okay. I don't have any more questions for you, but I want to give you an opportunity to say anything else that maybe I haven't asked you to the people.
Of course. I just want folks to know that VIA belongs to San Antonio, to Bexar County. You can bring any questions, any comments, any concerns to the board. I don't know. I can tell you all of my colleagues are listening. I don't know any board member who doesn't want to hear from the community. So show up and show out. Let us know what you need.
We need to do a
The next time I speak with you, it will be in first person as Rosa Parks. Wouldn't you know it, the bus is packed full and I spied me one seat in the very front of the colored section, and I gratefully sat down in it. Well, 2 more squares down, a white man got on the bus. And as I said, this was unusual because the bus was usually kind of emptying out. The man went to a strap. Oh, James Blake would have none of that. He looked in his rearview mirror and said, "Y'all make it easy on y'allselves and let me have them seats." And 3 people got up. I do not know what got into me, but it was as if I was glued to the seat. I couldn't get up. Old James Blake came, towered over me. "Y'all will let me have that seat?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well then, I'm going to have you arrested." And I said, "You may do that." I was scared, but "you may do that" means you may do that. And he did that. And I was taken off the bus by a police officer. And I said to the young man, I said, "Why do you push us around so?" And the boy had the decency to be shamed. He just said, "It's the law." And here I was, Rosa Louise, in jail. Well, I called my husband, and in little more than an hour, here come Raymond with half the attorneys in the city of Montgomery, Alabama, black and white. I was found guilty of breaking segregation laws. That's exactly how it sits on the books. I was fined $10 plus $14 court costs. They paid it and immediately turned around and filed an appeal. An appeal over $14? Yes. It was important. And someone came up with the suggestion to just stay off the buses that coming Monday. Well, there was someone among us who at the time did not think that that was the greatest idea. But he was to emerge as our leader. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did not feel that it was the greatest idea, but he said, "Wait a minute. I am a Morehouse man, and at this time, I do not have anything better to offer. So I will support this idea." And on Monday, we were not on those buses. Put your hands up and wave them at me real big again. See, that's how we waved at those old buses as they went rattling by, empty as they could be. All right? That Monday went to that Tuesday. Tuesday went to a week. A week went to 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. The city leaders came to us and said, "Well, what is it going to take to end this boycott?" And we said, "Well, that's easy. Please do away with the segregated seating and hire just a few colored drivers." They said no. And we said no. And walked on. Finally, December 20th, 1956, it was over. It was just over. Hallelujah! Jubilee! It was over. We had won. We had won. Not to be better than anybody else, none of that. Just to be equal, a decent thing, to be able to ride the bus equally and in peace. We had won. And that is how we win. Persevere. Persevere. Stand for right. Do it whenever you can. Stand for something, or we will fall for anything.